Namaste. Thank you for joining me for our 60-minute vinyasa class today. Go ahead and take a seat on your mat, any comfortable posture. Begin getting some groundedness and presence. So settle into your seat. Calmly rest your palms on your legs or the floor, wherever they fall naturally, depending on the posture you chose. Take a deep breath in, and exhale, close the eyes. As you exhale out, feel the warm air exiting your nostrils. Inhale deeply into the chest, into the belly, filling all the way up with fresh air. And then exhaling, letting go of your attention to anything else off your mat. Continue with a few more rounds of this deep breathing, relaxing the body on your exhales, bringing your awareness a little bit closer in to your center on the inhales. Allow whatever is happening around you to fade into the distance, into the background, with the sound of your breath as your foreground music today. Begin to bring some slow movements to the spine, taking a cat and cow breath. So holding onto your knees or part of your body that's in front of you, and begin to exhale as you curl the spine, pressing out through the shoulder blades, tucking the chin, and then inhaling, lifting up, relaxing the shoulders down the back, lifting the heart through, looking up. Filling up on the inhale here. Exhaling, going back to our cat-like pose, curling the spine, tucking the chin, pressing out all the air. To inhale, back up and open through the chest. Just continue here with these movements. Beginning to lengthen out through the exhales. Still deepening with each inhale. Bringing some mindful awareness to each little movement that you take. Awareness in, distractions and thoughts out. Expanding through the heart on that inhale. Exhaling, pressing out everything you don't need on the exhale through the back. And inhale, coming back to center, to a comfortable seat. Take a couple shoulder rolls. One direction and then the other. And then extend the arms long, and we're just going to take some gentle twists left and right. We're not pushing ourselves too much. Just beginning to bring a little twist to the body. Keeping the hips facing forward. Allow your gaze to follow the arm that's turning behind you. A couple more breaths. And then inhale, both arms up overhead. Exhale, twist towards the right. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to look over your back shoulder. Next inhale brings your arms back up in center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, look over your back shoulder. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, hands down. Deep, full breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Bring your hands to your shoulders. And this time we're going to continue with that gentle twisting movement, but we're going to add in some breath connection. So inhaling to the left and exhaling, forcing that air out through your nose as you turn towards the right. So in, exhale out. to the right, into the left, out to the right. And keep going with your own rhythm. You should be able to hear that air coming in and out through the nostrils. Squeezing the belly in on the exhales, allowing the inhale breath to be kind of automatic. Relax the shoulders. Maybe close the eyes. A couple more rounds. And then on your next inhale, stop the motion, deep breath in, keep inhaling. Release the hands, hold the breath. Exhale, open mouth, let it go. Gently, neatly into tabletop. Fingertips spread apart underneath your shoulders, knees under your hips. And we'll continue with a couple cat and cows here, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze. Exhaling, curling the spine, pressing the earth away as you tuck your chin. Following the body's desire for however high up you press your cat, and however low you drop the belly on cow. Go ahead and even out cat and cows. And then coming to neutral spine, we're going to lower onto our bellies for 3 rounds of cobra pose. So lowering all the way to the mat on the stomach. Draw the fingertips in line with the chest. Squeeze the elbows in. Inhale, lift the chest just a little bit. Gazing straight at the top of the mat. 3 breaths. Deep inhale. Slow exhale. 2 more breaths. Final big inhale. Final exhale. Lower the forehead to the mat or one side of the face. Take a breath and rest here. And then zip the legs together, tops of the feet press into the mat. Inhale, lift the heart. Finding that cobra pose. Maybe pressing up a little bit higher if you're ready. Lengthening on the inhales. Keeping that lift and extension on the exhales. 2 more breaths. Final round. Lower the forehead to the mat or switch sides of the face. Take a breath, take a rest. Relax the legs and the arms. And then as you're ready, squeeze the legs together. Bring the elbows together, shoulders roll away from the ears as you inhale, lifting up a little bit more, maybe pressing into the hands. 3 breaths. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and down the back. Tops of the feet still pressing into the earth. And slowly lower down. Relax the arms next to you, tap out the feet, maybe rock the hips side to side. Sway it out. And then bring your hands back next to your chest, lift up and back, child's pose. Knees together or wide apart, arms extended long in front of you. 2 breaths here. Releasing down. Letting the back gently curl over your thighs. And the tailbone reaching towards the back of the mat. Inhaling back to tabletop. Press the hips towards the left as you gaze over your right shoulder as if you're trying to catch your tail. Inhaling back to center, other way. Press the hips towards the right, look over your left shoulder, and curving the side body. Take a few more of those if those feel good for you. Then shift the hips over the heels. We're just going to come to a dynamic bridge. So lowering onto your back. Keeping the heels about hips width distance apart, walking them in towards your hips, palms flat down. On an inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhaling, activating the legs, pressing the arms into the mat. And then on your next inhale, lifting up the hips off the mat, finding bridge. This is your inhale. Exhale, slowly lowering. Take a few more of those hip bridges, lifting up on the inhale, lowering on the exhale. If you've got a block, you can place a block between your thighs. If you need help keeping the knees from splaying open, spin the other thighs up and in. Activating the core here still. Take a few more rounds. And then lowering the hips. Extend the legs long. Take a big stretch. Point the toes. Reach up overhead. Realigning the spine. Big inhale. Exhale, draw the knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around the knees. Gentle rock left and right. And then begin to rock up and down the spine. Back and forth from the back of the mat to the top of the mat until maybe you gain enough momentum to sit up. And from here, we'll take cow face pose. Cross the left ankle or the left knee in front, right knee on top. It's a little early, so if your hips are not open here, not working, feel free to take any kind of leg variation that might work. Maybe you're just seated cross-legged at this point. All right, so no pressure. Do what you can and be joyful about it. We're going to be working on finding some joyfulness in postures for ourselves and others today. So try to keep that in mind throughout class. What can you find that's happy and joyful in your postures instead of what's wrong with it or what you can't do? All right, so the right leg is crossed over the left or some variation of that. And on an inhale, reach the arms up overhead. The right hand is going to bend, the right elbow is going to bend. Your right hand is going to come back like you're patting yourself on the back. Maybe you're patting yourself on the neck or the back of the head. Again, wherever you find that pose, wherever you find that hand, be happy about it. And then you're going to bend the other elbow underneath and start to wiggle that hand, that wrist, up to meet the other fingers. You might not make it too far. If you've got a strap, you can use that to kind of help begin to walk the hands in towards each other. So finding that arm placement, that hand placement, or using that strap. We'll spend 3 rounds of breath here in our cow face pose. And try to find a little bit of cat and cow here. So as you're exhaling, now tilting the chin down, pressing the back of the heart space into that left hand, and then inhaling, using that breath to lift the chest up, lift the right elbow up, gazing up. Very minimal movement here, just enough to find a little bit of flexion in the spine, a little bit of openness in the shoulders. One more inhale, one more exhale. Inhale, release the arms, bring them down to your side, and gently switch the crossing of the legs, whichever way makes most sense and is most accessible for you. So crossing the left leg on top of the right, or maybe the left leg in front of the right if you're taking a different seated variation here. And then inhale the arms up overhead. This time the left elbow is going to bend so that your left hand comes to pat you on the back or the neck, or maybe you grab that strap. Right arm's going to come back around back of the right hand as far as you can get it up your back without too much pain. We don't want any pain in the shoulders. So again, use that strap, or you can also put your hand on your waist and maybe the back of the head. So just play around with it. As long as there's no pain, as long as you can breathe, you are okay to take whatever little modification you need there. Finding some openness in the chest. Inhale, lifting up, pulling that left elbow back. Exhale, very slight curl in, tuck of the chin. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, gentle curl in, just barely curling in. Squeezing the shoulder blades together on the inhale. Relaxing the neck on the exhale. One more time. Inhale to open. Exhale, soft little closing forward. Inhale to release, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale them down next to you, uncross the legs. And then take the left sole of the foot into the right thigh, extending the right leg next to you. Left hand plants next to your left thigh. We're gonna take some dynamic Janu Shirshasana to supported side plank. So left hand down on the mat, fingertips spread wide. On an inhale, you're gonna come up to put the weight onto that left knee, reach that right arm up overhead, right foot flattens. Lift up through that hip, drop the right arm overhead, and then exhaling it down. Left arm comes up, right arm reaches towards the ankle, left arm comes up overhead here, side body stretch, keep that left arm open. And on your next inhale, coming back up, exhale, left hand down, inhale, lifting the hips up, lowering the left hand deep into the mat, or pressing the left hand deep into the mat, reaching up to the sky with the right hand, exhaling, lowering, right hand to your right leg, left arm comes up overhead, look up. We'll take that one more time. Exhale, left hand to mat. Inhale, right arm up, coming up off the left leg. Exhaling, lowering the hips. Right hand to right ankle, left arm up to the sky. And then inhale back to center. We'll switch sides. Right sole of the foot into the left thigh. Right hand plants next to you. Inhale, reach the left arm up as you begin to lift up off the hips onto that right shin. Left arm extends up overhead. Exhale, sink the hips down. Left hand comes to that left leg. Reach down that left leg as you reach the right arm up overhead, finding some openness in that right side body. Exhale, switch right hand down, left arm up, left hip up. Left arm comes up overhead, keep that left shoulder open. Exhale, sink down. Find some joy, some happiness in this posture. And we'll take that one more time. Right hand to mat, left hip up, left arm up overhead. Exhale, sink it back down, left hand to left leg, reaching for that ankle, right arm up overhead. Keep some space in the left side body. And then exhale, sitting back upright. Hands to the mat. Soles of the feet together. Baddha Konasana, or bound angle. Hands to your shins, knees, ankles. Roll the shoulders up and down the back. Inhale, lift the heart. Look up. Exhale, curl it in. Finding your cat pose. Inhale, lift it up. Stay lifted, release the ankles and bring your palms to the mat in front of you. Exhale, lower the chin. Begin to slowly walk the fingertips forward. Maybe lowering the chest 0.5 millimeter at a time over the feet. Relax the gaze, relax the neck. And inhale, the fingertips back to center. We're going to make our way to downward facing dog. So bringing both knees to one side, coming up through your tabletop. Tucking the toes, lifting the knees. Remember to send the hips back before lifting up. Press the chest towards your thighs, gaze back between the knees or higher. And spend a couple rounds of breath here in your downward dog, settling into the pose. Length and strength. Look between your hands, make your way to the top of the mat, forward fold, deep bend in the knees if you need, belly on the thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Finding your tabletop back, long and straight spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, keeping the knees bent, roll the spine as dramatically as you can. Chest and head lift up last. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Diving forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. As much as you need to plant your hands and step back, plank. Spin the biceps forward, keep lifting up through the belly. One more inhale. And then exhale, lower to the mat. You can lower through knees, chest, chin, or all the way. Untuck the toes. Inhale to cobra. Light in the hands. Long in the body. One more inhale. Tuck the toes, lift back up, shift back to downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Hips lifting up and back, chest towards your thighs. Make your way to the top of the mat for forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, completing our sun salutation A warm-up. Exhale, hands to side. Take a breath, take a rest. Regain your focus. Linking that breath back up with the movements. As we make our way next to chair pose. Inhale, arms up. Bending at the knees, sinking the hips back. Exhaling to diver's pose. So sweep the arms back behind you. Begin to lift up off the heels onto your toes. Balancing on the toes, pressing the hands back, hinging at the hips forward. Squeeze the belly in. One more inhale here. Exhale to chair, drop the hips. Knees bent, arms rise, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step the left foot back to the back of the mat for warrior 2. Spin the back heel down. Ground down to inhale, reach up and open. Hips opening towards the left side of the mat. Right heel in line with the left foot. Reach the arms out, gaze over the front fingertips. Find a moment of peace. Something you like about your body in this pose. Something you like about your breath in this pose. Does it make you feel strong? Maybe it doesn't. Find something to connect that positivity to that breath. And as you do so, broaden the collarbone, squeeze the shoulder blades together, opening the heart to yourself, to your pose. Flip the front palm, reverse your warrior by reaching forward first, and then exhaling, tilting up and back, left hand to your left thigh. Breathing into that right side body. On your exhale, coming back to warrior 2, straighten that front leg, triangle pose. Maybe you need to hop that back foot in, maybe you need to grab a block. Inhale, reach forward, hinging at the hips. When you can't go any further, drop that right hand, press it against your leg or hold on to a block. Left arm reaches up. If you have a tendency to dump into your joints, make sure you're activating the thigh, the leg, slight bend in the knee here so you're not relying on that knee joint to hold you up. Squeeze the belly in, slight tuck of the tailbone lifts you up a little bit higher. Maybe your gaze slowly makes its way up to your left fingertips. One more inhale here. One more exhale. And then inhale to lift back and up. Finding your warrior 2. One more reverse warrior. Lift the front palm. Up and open. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to frame your front foot. Step back to plank or hands and knees. Lower all the way to the belly for cobra. Shrug the shoulders up and then down the back, lifting the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog or maybe child's pose if you need a little break. 3 breaths in downward facing dog or meet us there when you're done with your child's pose rest. Take a big cleansing breath out. And then looking at the top of the mat, make your way to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to chair, hips drop back, knees over ankles. Inhale, arms rise. One more inhale, lifting up a little bit. Exhale to divers, hands sweep down behind you as you lift up onto your toes. Lifting up out of the knees, off the mat, hinging at the hips like you're diving forward or gazing over the top of a diving board. Try to keep the spine somewhat straight here. Balancing on the toes. Inhale to chair, drop the hips, arms rise. Exhale, forward fold. Bend in the knees if you need. Halfway lift when you get there. Inhale. Exhale, plank. Step it back. Lower down on the exhale. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look towards the top of your mat, swap to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the left foot. This time the right foot steps to the back of the mat, warrior two, spin the right heel down. Ground down to inhale, lift up. Really open through the hips and the shoulders here. Sinking into your lunge. Knee heading over the front foot. Feel that opening, that spinning open of the hips and the shoulders. Finding your joy in the pose. Squeezing the shoulder blades together, finding space in that front body. Reaching out with the fingertips. One more inhale and exhale. Reverse warrior, reach forward, flip the front palm. Inhale, left palm up and back as your right hand comes to your thigh. Breathe in so deeply, you can literally feel the expansion of the muscles on the left side. And exhale back to warrior two. Straighten that front leg, triangle pose, maybe hopping in a bit if you need. Broaden through the shoulders, reach forward, drop the left arm, the left hand to the left leg. Remember keeping a little bend in that knee if you need. Keep finding strength in the lower body. Reaching up with the right fingertips, maybe taking your gaze up towards the fingertips if you need. Pressing the hips forward as if you're squeezing your body in between two panes of glass. You want to make yourself on one plane as much as possible. Opening through the shoulders, knee pressing into the hand. One more breath in and out. Slow down. Your next inhale reaches up and back to warrior two, bending back into that front knee. Inhale to open. Reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to frame the front foot. Step back to plank, lowering down, cobra or up dog if that's in your practice. Exhale to downward facing dog or take a break in child's pose. 3 breaths. Exhale, letting it out. Maybe pedaling out the heels on downward facing dog. Finding some rest. Slowing down that breath. Inhale, look between your hands. Tiptoe towards the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to roll to stand. Slow motion. Shoulders, neck, chin, and gaze. Exhale, let go. From here, we're going to take a one-legged mountain pose. So shifting the weight to the left foot. Begin to lift that right knee up. Just clasp your fingertips around that right knee. If this is a little bit too challenging for you today, feel free to grab your strap, and you can place the strap around the bottom of your foot. Otherwise, just work here. Notice where your body's at. Are you hunching forward to hug it in? Can you begin to lengthen through the spine, standing up straight, shoulders back, hugging that knee in? Take some ankle rolls here with the right foot. Press all 4 corners of the left foot down. Slight bend in the knee again if you're prone to being super flexible or locking out your joints. Keep the leg channels open. Gentle face. One more inhale. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, keep the knee lifted, but release the hands. Slowly lower that leg as slow as you can. If you fell out, it's all right. We've got another side to try. Little cha-cha with the hips, roll it out, and then shift the weight to the right foot. Ground down through the right side. Begin to inhale the left knee up, parallel to the mat. Clasping your fingertips around the knee or using your strap. Shoulders down the back. Long in the spine, tailbone pointing towards the earth, pointing down. Heart is open. Engage the core. Soft, gentle face. Hugging in, drawing energy up from the earth into the core. Lengthening through the crown of the head, helping yourself stay afloat. One more inhale. Keep the knee lifted. Exhale, release the hands. One more inhale to lengthen, and then exhale as slow as you can, lowering that knee down to the mat, to the foot down to the mat. Inhale, reach it up overhead. Reach up from the arms, relax the shoulders, lifting up through the collarbones, through the sternum. Exhale to chair, knees bend, arms rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step the left foot to the back of the mat, lower the left knee, low lunge. Keeping the hips square here, so you're gonna pull that left hip forward, right hip pulls back. On an inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, bring the left hand down to the inside of the foot. Right arm remains lifted. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, drop that hand back like you're reaching for the back of the room, the back of the mat. Inhaling it up overhead. Exhale, back. Inhale up, keeping the arms straight if possible. Exhale it back. And then inhale, this time cartwheel that hand all the way to frame the foot. Step or tuck the back toes, lift the knee for a high lunge. So our hips are still squared towards the top of the mat here. The back leg stays as straight as you can get it. Right knee is over the right ankle. Inhale to lengthen, look up past the top of your mat. Exhale, ground down, become firm in the legs, like you're pressing into the earth, trying to make really firm footprints. And then inhaling, lifting up, arms up. Left hip pulls forward, right hip pulls back. Like you're drawing that energy up. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, arms up. Warrior one, spin that back heel down, just your stance if you need. And then exhale, the hands down next to you, back behind you. Here's another great place for that strap if you need it. Holding on to either end. Pulling the shoulders back and down. If you've got the space in your shoulders, you can clasp your fingers together and draw the fist down the low back, past the tailbone, opening through the front chest. One more inhale. Exhale, take it down, humble warrior. Lengthening over the thigh, reaching the arms up overhead. Slight bend in the elbows. Press out through the knife edges of the feet. Remember strength in the legs, not in the joints. Relax the head and the neck. 2 more breaths. Scissoring the legs in, drawing that energy up. Press down to inhale, lift up. Release the hands of the strap. Arms come up overhead. Exhale, palms down to the inside of that right foot. Quick little break in lizard pose. Then lower the knee, untuck the toes. Inhale to low lunge. This time we're gonna gently bend into that right knee. Dropping the belly, dropping the hips, keeping the belly engaged though. So you'll still feel that stretch in the front right hip flexor. Keep pulling that right hip back. Maybe starting to arch the back a little bit. Exhale, hands down. Bring your right knee to the mat. Shift the hips over the heels. 3 rounds of restful parent breath in child's pose. Filling all the way up through the back body on the inhale. When you're ready, pressing up to downward facing dog. No rush. Awareness of every movement. Looking between your hands, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, roll the spine, arms come up overhead. Gentle little back bending moment. We're not fully back bending, just thinking about it as we lift the heart in the hands. Exhale to chair. One more inhale. Exhale, fold. Hands come to the mat. This time stepping the left foot to the back of the mat, the right foot to the back of the mat. Untuck the toes. Square the hips towards the top of the mat. So if your hips feel open and you're more inclined to kind of be facing the top right corner of the mat. Pull that right hip forward so that your shoulders and hip points are facing directly the top of the mat. Ground down to inhale, reach it up. Right hip presses forward, knee over your ankle, breathing steadily. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower the elbows. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, right hand to the inside of the foot. Left arm comes up, gently twisting in towards your left leg. Right fingertips spreading wide onto the mat, trying to imprint your handprint on the mat. Left fingertips reaching up towards the sky. And then exhale, drop that left hand back, keeping the arms straight. Inhale the arm up overhead. Exhale, drop it back, reaching back. Inhale it up. Exhale, reach it back. Inhale to cartwheel the hand to frame the foot. Coming to high lunge, or tuck the back toes, lift that right knee. Again, scissor the legs together. Right hip comes forward, left hip comes back. Powerfully pressing down into the mat on the exhale. To inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Just your stance of your knee. Back leg should be somewhat straight. Probably not all the way, maybe, if you're there today. Take joy in that. If you're not, take joy in that you can move and just be here. Exhale, cactus your arms, elbows down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, warrior one, back heel spins down. Still facing the hip and shoulder points forward. Exhale the hands back and down behind you, grabbing your strap or clasping your fingertips together behind your low back. Inhale, pull the fist down, lift the heart. Keep sinking into that front leg. One more inhale to broaden through the heart, look up. Exhale, humble warrior. Lower yourself between the legs, reaching the arms up overhead. Edges of the feet pressing into the mat. Drawing the feet together as if you're trying to bubble the mat between you, underneath you. Trying to pull the feet towards each other. Drawing that energy up through your center. And then remembering to find a little ease in the pose. One more inhale. Slow exhale. Press into the feet to inhale, reach it up. Relax the hands. Arms come up overhead. Exhale, plant both hands on the inside of the foot, back heel spins up. Temporary little break in our lizard pose. Lower the right knee, untuck the toes. Deep lunge, reach the arms up overhead. Press the hips forward, bending into that left knee a little bit more. But come up out of your hips. So even though we're bending forward, we're reaching forward, finding a little bit deeper stretch in that front hand or that front hip area. Still reaching up. Still lifting up. Gaze up. Exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, frame the foot. Drop the knee to make the other one. Child's pose. Lower the forehead to the mat. Spend a few rounds of breath here. Let your heart rate catch up with your breath. Relax the face. Relax the tailbone towards the earth. Take your time as you need. When you're ready, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Three more mindful breaths in downward dog. Expanding through the back. Lifting up through the sitting bones. Allowing the heels to become heavy. And look between your hands and make your way to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, roll up to stand. Take your time. Press the palms forward, press the heels down. Spin the legs from the inside towards the front, shoulders relaxed, becoming really firm, really strong, rooting down through the feet, drawing up that energy from the earth up through the spine. Slight tuck of the chin, and then inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Relax the shoulders. From here, we'll practice taking some gentle back bends. So inhale, reach it up. Keep the heart lifted, but lower the hands to your hips. Thumbs facing in. Elbows squeezing back. Lift up out of your pelvis. Keep the shoulders down. Squeeze the elbows in. Lifting from the sternum. And you notice I haven't even cued for us to actually bend into the back yet. So it's all about the preparation. Are your legs active? Are your feet pressing into the mat? There's a lift that happens before we can begin to drop the head back and press the chest and the heart forward. Take a deep breath in. Keep relaxing the shoulders down or pressing the shoulders down, squeezing the elbows together. Keep the neck light. Maybe lifting the chin a little bit more. Maybe your hips begin to press forward a little bit, but most of back bending comes from the upper thoracic spine, between the shoulder blades, around that area. One more inhale. Gently release, dropping the chin. Resist the urge to move or counter stretch. Let the spine realign. Taking a soft gaze or eyes closed in front of you, maybe even palms together. Tune into how the body feels after that. Allow anything to come forward and bubble up. Breathe it out. Take 3 more rounds of meditative breath here. Stay with yourself, stay with your body in the moment. And then open the eyes, release the hands. And we'll take that standing back bend one more time. Feet pressing firmly on the mat. Inner thighs spinning forward. Slight bend in the knees if you need. Legs are strong but not locked. Slight tuck of the tailbone, lifting through the belly. Core is engaged. Palms facing forward. Heart is open. Ears are lifting. Slight tuck of the chin, so we're not dropping it down too much, just keeping that neutral neck. Soft gaze in front of you. This should be hard work. If you just need to stay here, stay here. If you're ready for your second back bend, reach the arms up overhead. Finding length, reaching up, but shoulders relaxed. Exhale, hands to your hips. Fingertips forward, thumbs on your hips, pressing into the low back gently. Squeeze the elbows behind you. Lift the chest, lift the gaze. Slight tuck of the tailbone, press down through the feet. Lifting up through the core. Keeping the breath soft. Soft knees. Heart lifts a little higher on each inhale. Maybe beginning to bend into the space between your shoulder blades. Soft neck. One more big inhale. Slowly release on the exhale. Palms together at heart center, or wherever feels natural, close the eyes. Let that sensation wash over you. Stay with yourself and the breath. Notice if any memories or thoughts, emotions emerge. Again, breathing through that. The power of the yoga practice is it's beyond the physical and moves us or draws our attention to things beyond just muscle and bone placement. We can find healing and peace for ourselves and others. When we pay attention to the things that come up from the subtle body or even the physical body, give yourself that time, that space, that breath to tune in. The deep heart openers of backbends and cobras, humble warriors, really opens that heart chakra, the heart space, where we hold love. It opens the back, which can tend to hold past hurts and fear. So letting any of that, if that resonates with you, it's just flow through and flow out. You as gentle observer, bring kindness and support to yourself. Take a deep breath in, fill all the way up. Open mouth, exhale. Release the palms. Heel toe the feet apart. And begin to sink the hips down, taking yogi squat. Palms together, elbows pressing into the knees. Keeping the hips lifted if you need. Focus more on strength here than to just dumping down into the squat. All right, so hips lifted. Try to keep your knees over your ankles. So this is different even for me, trying this out. Breath in. Deep breath out. Plant the hands. Heel toe the feet together. Take another inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Coming onto your knees. Lowering down all the way to the belly. Extend the arms back behind you, forehead to the mat. Zip the legs together, big toes touching, but the heels can splay out a little bit. We'll take 2 rounds, or actually 3 rounds of locust pose. So your choice whether you want to take half locust, which is either just lifting the upper body or lifting the legs, or if you want to take full lotus. So depending on how those back bends felt for you, tune in, be gentle, find something that's going to bring you joy, bring you a little celebration of movement of your body, being open-hearted and fearless. We'll take a deep inhale to lengthen, exhale to prepare. Inhale and lifting up. If you're taking the half locust, start with the left of the chest. Kind of like cobra, reaching the hands back. We're not extending the gaze or the neck here, so just keep your gaze in front of you. Tops of the feet pressing into the mat. If you took full locust, slowly begin to lift the toes. Reaching back. One more inhale. Exhale, slowly lower. And the opportunity to take more, feel free to take it or leave it. Maybe just laying on the mat is what you need right now. When you're ready, inhaling, lifting up. Finding length, finding strength. Maybe even clasping your fingertips together at your low back, pulling your fists down the spine to lift up the heart a little bit more. Again, totally optional. Deep breath in. Exhale over. Take a couple rounds of breath rest. And then, if you'd like, one final locust pose. Or cobra if you prefer. You need something a little less intense. When you're ready, inhale, lift up. Reach the hands back, reach the feet back. Open the heart. Using the back muscles. Soft gaze, soft base. Think of something happy. Wish that feeling on yourself in this moment. And then exhale, let it go. Lay out straight here. Resist the urge to move too quickly. And then slowly press yourself up to tabletop. And plant the left hand in the middle of the mat. Reach the right arm up. And exhale, thread that right arm underneath, twisting in, lowering the right shoulder to the mat or to however far you need. And twisting the spine to realign. 3 breaths here. Bring the focus back to your body on the mat, to your presence on your mat. Allow everything else to fade away. Release attachment to any of the previous poses. Release the anticipation of the other side. Just be here with whatever's coming up or with the nothing that's coming up. Bring the left hand next to your face, press into that left hand to reach the right arm up. Re-extend to open. Exhale, right hand plants, and we'll switch sides. Left arm reaches up. Exhale, gently thread that left arm underneath you. Lowering onto your shoulder or onto your fingertips if that's too far. Adjust your stance as you need. And then allow yourself 3 rounds of breath on this side. And keep the face soft. Focused breath, quiet mind. And draw the right hand next to your face. Press into that right hand to reach the left arm up. Exhale, plant it down. Shift the hips back, child's pose. Inhale, begin to roll up to sit, rolling the spine, taking your time. Shifting the hips to one side, extending the legs out in front of you, forward fold. Make sure the sitting bones are directly on the mat. It's okay if your knees bend a little bit. If it's too painful for the hamstrings, you can always put a block or a blanket underneath your knees. Otherwise, just meet yourself where you're at. Roll the shoulders down the back, sit up straight. Belly button to the spine. Reach the arms up overhead. Hinging at the hips, bring the belly over the thighs. Reach the fingertips towards the feet. Grab onto wherever they land. And roll the shoulders down the back. Gaze forward. And then exhale, begin to allow the spine to gently curl forward over you, bringing your forehead to your knees or wherever on your legs that it lands. Let yourself completely melt into the forward fold. And counterbalancing the back bends. It's important to care for ourselves through our work of healing, our work of opening ourselves up. Allow the shoulder blades to separate. Allow the head to hang heavy. Breathing in the back. And then inhale, starting with the base of the spine, begin to roll up to sit. Taking your time to lift your gaze. And then draw the right sole of the foot into the left thigh. Reach the arms up overhead. Turn towards the left foot and exhale, reaching for the ankle. Hinge your hips over as you reach your chest over the knee. Lengthen on the inhale, look up, and then exhale, relax forward. Allowing yourself to curl down, letting go of any areas of tension, releasing the arms so that the forearms draw back and lower to the mat. Become very passive. Full inhales, slow exhales. Gently begin to sit up. And we'll switch sides. Sole of the left foot into the right thigh. Getting stably grounded and then lifting the arms up overhead, turning towards that right foot. Exhale, heart still lifted as we hinge over that right leg. Allow the hands to land wherever they may. Inhale, lift the heart, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, just fold over, no effort. Breathing into any areas of tension. Allow the arms to melt to the mat. Maybe they draw back closer in towards you. Take a final deep inhale. Unhurried exhale. Gently begin to sit up. Find a comfortable seat, maybe cross-legged. Maybe on your knees. Inhale the arms up overhead. Take a seated twist. Turn towards the right. Left hand to your right knee. Right hand plants behind you or finds a block. Lengthen on the inhale. Exhale, twist over towards the right, looking over your back shoulder. 3 rounds of the slowest inhales and exhales you've taken all class. Release on the inhale, coming back to center, arms up. Exhale to the left, right hand to your left knee or wherever is accessible. Left hand props you up to inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Look over the back shoulder or as far as is appropriate for your neck. Breathe into the twist of the belly, keeping that open-heartedness. Slowest, deepest breaths you can. On your next inhale, coming back to center, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs, hands to the mat, melt the forehead towards the earth. And then curl the spine up back to sit, lowering onto your back. Taking your time, taking a few rounds of breath and the shapes that come between. Keep your feet about hips-width distance apart. Lift the right leg up towards the ceiling. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. Stay here and press that right hip away as you pull the left hip forward or towards you. Or you can deepen this hip stretch by lifting that left leg, grabbing your hamstring, and gently pulling, or just thinking about pulling that left leg towards you. Keep pressing the right knee away. Relax the jaw. Maybe closing the eyes. Big inhale. Lower the left leg on the exhale. And then gently drop the legs towards the left. So your right foot is going to come to the outside of the left side of the mat. It's a gentle twist. So legs to the right, extend the right arm next to you. Find a big inhale. Relax down on the exhale. Slowly coming back up on the inhale, lifting your gaze first, then the arm, then the legs come back. Uncross the ankle, reach that right foot up towards the sky, and then lower that right foot. Readjust your stance, bringing the heels in towards your hips. Extend the left leg up tall. Cross the left ankle over your right knee. Stay there or begin to lift that right foot up. Reach between the opening to grab your hamstring. Gently pull that right leg in. as you press the left leg away. Slight tug of the chin. Breathe. Keep the shoulder blades on the mat. Full inhale on your next breath in. Exhale, release that right leg. And then lower the legs towards the right. So left foot comes to the mat, or maybe you've got some blocks or pillows, you can lower it too if it doesn't go all the way down. Left arm extends out, gazing over your left shoulder. Enjoy the twist. Take another round of breath here. Then gently lift the gaze towards the ceiling. Bring that left arm back in and then lift the legs. Coming back. The right foot on the floor. Uncross the left leg. Press up to the left foot towards the sky. Lower the left foot. Heel toe your feet to the edges of the mat and allow the knees to fall in towards each other. And heel toe the knees or the feet back together. Extend the legs long on the mat, taking a stretch. Point the toes, arms up overhead, reach. Lengthen the front body, lifting the low back off the mat. You're inhaling so deeply. Exhale, release it down, knees to your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Maybe a rock left and right, massaging out the low back. And then taking happy baby, reaching your arms between the legs, grabbing onto your toes or the sides of your feet, lifting the heels, draw the knees down. Take 3 rounds of breath in happy baby. And then gently lowering the feet, bringing the knees back together. One final squeeze in, lift the forehead to the knees, curling into a ball, curling into the love of yourself, of your body for this practice. And then on your exhale, gently release to Shavasana. Laying all the way onto your back. In the most relaxed posture you can find. That leads to stillness and rest. Scan the body, starting with the toes. Calming and releasing each inch. Pulling breath in and out. And then begin to release the awareness of your breath. Release the awareness of the body. Release any thoughts. Allow yourself this moment of reflection, of rest. As you continue with Shavasana, read you a little mindfulness card. I have this deck of mindfulness cards that have different categories just to bring your awareness to focus here on this concept of joy. And not only joy for ourselves, but joy for others. It's a concept called mudita in Buddhist philosophy. So this card from the meditation deck is called Reflect Joy. Tuning into the happiness and joy of others can help us cultivate happiness and joy in ourselves. Next time you notice beauty, lightness, or joy in someone, see if you can feel the reflection of their happiness and let it affect your own experience. This can sometimes be difficult, especially if we feel jealousy or resentment. So if those feelings come up, just think, that's interesting, and try to tune into the happiness all the same. And as a bonus, tell someone who is lit up with happiness how lovely it is to see them so joyful. So as you spend a few final moments in a restful state on your back, just breathe in and see if you can bring that sensation of joy into the center of the chest, of warmth, excitement. All of that is coming from a deep wellspring of love. We can get there more easily when we address our own hurt, our own fear, our own neglect. Maybe you felt a little sense of release from that in backbends today. And if not, there's always another practice tomorrow, the next day. Continuing to feel that warm joy in the center of your chest. Bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. Spend a few rounds of breath there before gently rolling to one side, pressing yourself up to sit. No rush. Stay in your body, stay in your space. Still feeling that sense of joy within you, or receiving that sense of joy from this practice that I'm sending you. As you sit up, bring the palms together at heart center. Lower the chin, gazing down at your fingertips. Take a final deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. May you continue to find this joy in little movements and little moments throughout the day. Recognize when that's difficult. Give yourself the peace, the understanding, and the curiosity to let that pass through. And know that you always have the love, support, and presence in the practice of yoga, which is why I'm so grateful you've chosen to share that with me. Gently blink open the eyes, release the palms. Take a few moments, getting up off your mat. Have a couple extra glasses of water, and I'll see you next time on the virtual mat.